Yo, what is going on guys, Flashverse here and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 7, and for today's video I'll be talking about The Flash Season 7 finale, that being episode 18 of this season, and I'll be talking about when this finale date would be, but also I'll be talking about the other episodes and what we know about them and which certain characters should we be expecting to appear for the Season 7 finale as well. So as of now, we are 2 episodes left for graphic novel number 3 to finish, in which we'll be wrapping up the Forces storyline and go into graphic novel number 4, which is the back half of The Flash Season 7, and we know that we will be having Godspeed appearing for the back half of the season. We will be having that Godspeed storyline which we've been waiting for since Season 6, and it will be playing out. But also we do have that 150th episode which everyone is looking forward to as well. But going into these final 2 episodes, I am expecting things to get really intense between the Speed Force and all the other forces as well. And maybe it will get to a point where the forces realize that they can't face off the Speed Force without the help of each other, which leads to Barry as well as Forza, Psyche and Dion teaming up against the Speed Force, in which if that does happen, I can't wait to see how it goes. Now for me, I am not expecting the Speed Force to be defeated through like an action sequence. I think that it will be defeated through Barry talking her out, because like after all, the Speed Force is something which gives Barry his speed, so technically if he like defeats her or anything like that, it would cause some repercussions to his speed if you do think about it. So I do think that Barry will try to talk her down. But that doesn't matter because for the Godspeed stuff, we will be having heaps of action. But ending with episode 10 and going into episode 11, I am expecting some sort of a massive cliffhanger which will then be resolved during part 2, that being episode 11. I think that the Speed Force will absorb all the other forces, which would then be a big enough threat for Barry to actually team up with the other forces to face off against the Speed Force. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. That's my assumption to what the cliffhanger would be for episode 10. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Okay, so I will be going over each of the episodes which we are yet to see, and I'll be breaking them down based on the ones we know, and then I will get into the finale, release date, and returning characters we should be expecting for that episode as well. So episode 10 will obviously release during May 18th, and episode 11 will release the next week, so May 25th. So episodes 10 and 11 are obviously 2-parter episodes, Family Matters Part 1 and the Family Matters Part 2, which will wrap up the Forces storyline. Now, as I said during the intro of this video, episode 10 will seemingly be some sort of like a setup where Barry potentially tries to get the help of the other forces so that the Speed Force doesn't go after them and end up killing them. Now, from the trailer for episode 10, we do know that Barry will be training Alexa, aka Forza, in using her Strength Force powers and like control them, but we do know that we will be seeing the other forces during this episode as well, in which to end off episode 10, we should be getting some sort of a cliffhanger which would lead right into the events of episode 11, and obviously things will be very, very intense between the Speed Force and the forces, including the Flash as well. And this is when I think the forces will unite together as this Force family and stop the Speed Force. And as I said, I'm predicting that Barry will try to talk her out of doing it rather than having this massive action sequence, because I doubt we will be having that where Barry defeats the Speed Force through like him punching her. And plus, as we saw, the Speed Force is miles faster than Barry, so I don't even think Barry would be able to hit her, if I'm being honest. But going on to episode 12. So episode 12 will release during June 1st. Now, this episode is where we will be having Cisco leaving. He will be back during the finale, that was confirmed by Eric Wallace, but this is the final episode we will be seeing him for a while. And through the synopsis, we do know that this episode will be OG Team Flash centered, with Barry, Cisco, and Caitlin working together to defeat this newer version of Rainbow Raider. For those who don't remember who Rainbow Raider was, it was the guy who basically gave Barry his rage during episode 8 of season 1, and then we had that fight scene between Oliver and Barry. It was that guy's Rainbow Raider, and for this episode we'll be having this newer version of him. And although it is sad to see that Cisco will be gone in a couple of weeks from the time I'm recording this video, I am very excited for this episode because I miss OG Team Flash so much and I cannot wait to see how this will play out. It's going to be a treat and I already know it. But the week after that, so June 8th, there is no episode. We will be having a 1 week break, which isn't really that bad. It's just 1 week. We could wait for that much. But episode 13 will release during June 15th. Now, the only thing we know of episode 13 so far is that the episode title is Masquerade. But this is graphic novel number 4, and I think this will be the episode where we have Godspeed finally arriving as our main villain. It may not be during the start or middle of the episode where he rushes in and attacks the Flash. I would be surprised if that does happen. But it could just be some sort of an ending scene where we have a teaser showing us that Godspeed has officially arrived to Central City, the real Godspeed, and he's going after Barry. Now, episode 14 will release during the 22nd of June. However, for this episode, we know nothing about it. I would guess this would be the first episode where we will have the original Godspeed and Barry confronting each other. Obviously I could be wrong about that because we know nothing about this episode, but judging from what happens during episode 15, that seems to be the case. I think this is the episode where Godspeed will officially arrive and maybe confront the Flash or something along those lines at least. And speaking of episode 15 will be released obviously the week after, that being the 29th of June. Now, through set photos, we do know that we will be getting this massive fight scene between the Flash and Godspeed as well as his clones, which is very exciting. Obviously, we haven't had a proper speedster villain in a while, so I am so excited for this. And obviously the mystery behind the one who sent the Godspeed clones, we could assume that it's the original Godspeed, but it's very interesting. I cannot wait to see who they will put under the mask because I doubt it's August Hart. But you could technically say the Speed Force was also a speedster villain. But yeah, the back half of the season seems to be a lot more action-packed than graphic novel number 3, and I just cannot wait to see what they have planned for us with this Godspeed storyline. Now, episode 16 will then release during the 6th of July. Now, although we know nothing about episode 16 as well, I am assuming this is the episode where Killer Frost is released from prison or breaks out of prison, because through set photos we do know that she is in the 150th episode. That is confirmed, meaning she would have had to be released earlier at some point, and the best option would be either episode 16 or 15, and I would just say that it's going to be episode 16 where she is released. Now, episode 17 will release during the 13th of July, and that is obviously our 150th episode, also our penultimate episode of the season, and from that episode we have tons of returning characters and speedsters, which is very, very exciting. We obviously have the whole Flash family, that being the Flash, Bart Allen, XS, and Jay Garrick, all uniting together to face off Godspeed, which is so exciting. This is by far my most anticipated episode at the moment because we're gonna see freaking Bart Allen, we're gonna see XS returning, we're gonna see Jay Garrick returning, and I just cannot wait to see how this will all play out. But we do also have other characters returning for this episode, which many people may not know of. It was released through an Instagram post by the person who directed this episode. So as you guys can see from the shots I'm probably gonna put up the screen, we have Joan Garrick and Kristen Kramer returning for this episode as well. But lastly, going on to episode 18, that will release during the 20th of July. But also, this is the episode, from the time I'm recording this video, this is the episode which they are filming at the moment. They wrapped up episode 17, that being the 150th episode, and they are filming the finale at the moment. So yeah, you could technically say that The Flash is so close to finish filming. But this episode is obviously the season finale for season 7. Now for this episode, we do know that Bart Allen and Nora West Allen are confirmed to be in this episode, but also we barely got to see any set photos or just behind the scenes in general from Jay Garrick, unless he was just filming indoors the whole time. But it seems like it's very likely that Jay Garrick will also be in this episode if Bart and Nora are also in the finale, in which they are. So I'm guessing Jay Garrick will also be in the finale as well. Obviously we have Cisco returning for the finale as well, but yeah, we have the Flash family being together for this episode as well, and I'm just so excited for the finale. And also, this will be the episode where we will be having this massive final battle against Godspeed, and we will be wrapping up his storyline, and then we will get the setup going into season 8. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below which episode you guys are looking most forward to going into the episodes which we haven't seen. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.